And hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. Once again bringing you my thoughts and review for last night's episode of Supergirl Season 3, Episode 6. It's either 6 or 7, one of them. I can't remember which one it is, I'm sorry. But it was a pretty good episode, by the way. So we have the return of Mon-El. Mon-El returns and Kara first obviously is like really shocked that he's back in her life. And then, of course, we find out certain things about him that's not quite right. And, a lot of people were probably guessing what happened and where did he go. When I first saw him disappear, I even said this in my thing. I said, I think he went to the future. I think he went to the future and maybe he's like, maybe a couple years. I was close. He went into the future. He went to the 31st century, if you know. If you know any of the comic books, the 31st century is where the Legion of Superheroes are at. That's where you have Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad, Bouncing Boy. You have sometimes Superman when he's there, because, Superman doesn't age. He ends up helping them out. And then, obviously, in some comic books and some, different interpretations about the League, you have Supergirls there as well. And, of course, Brainiac 5. So, we find out he's there, and he came back. And he says, it's been like, Kara's like, it's been like 6 months since you've been gone. No, it's been like 7 years for him. Because, time is different. So now he's back. And then while that's all happening, we have Samantha basically finding out she's an alien. Yep, pretty much. They basically Smallville her, in a way. She went back to her adopted mother kind of way. And tried to figure out what's been going on with her. Because she's trying to figure out why she's bulletproof, why she has super strength, why nothing can hurt her. And they literally did a Smallville thing where, if you remember Smallville, if you ever watched Smallville, remember that when Clark first was like wondering what the heck is going on with my life, then Jonathan Kent takes him to the ship and is like, yep, this is where we found you. Same thing happened to Samantha. She went to her mom, or her adopted mother. Then she's like, yeah, you are different. We found you here. I found you here and I adopted you. Then she gave her one of her crystals. And then she went to go find out some answers about it. And basically, found a desert area. And she basically created the Fortress of Solitude. Like, her version of the Fortress of Solitude. Or she called it the Fortress of Death or something like that. Around that. And then we find out she's Raven, whatever. And then, obviously, she's like Supergirl, but the deaf version of her. And now she has to basically fulfill her destiny by basically being a conqueror. And she got a message from one of her ships that said that, listen, you're a conqueror. You're gonna conquer this place with an iron fist. You're gonna treat them like slaves. And first she's like, no, I don't want to do this. And then she had no choice. And then now she's like brainwashed. So let's see how long this happens. Maybe she ends up being good for a few episodes. And then probably by the end of the season, she ended up being good and joining Kara's team and being another Supergirl. We don't know. I just don't think that Samantha's going to end up changing who she really is. I mean, obviously she still has a daughter, so maybe that will help her realize what's going on. Maybe she'll get destroyed. I don't know. I'm just taking guesses here. But like I said, it was a cool episode. The whole Mon-El thing, that's pretty interesting. I wonder what's going to happen with him now. And then, by the way, he found a way to, in the future, apparently, since lead was his weakness, now that doesn't bother him anymore, so now he can just walk freely, because, obviously he can't really be on Earth due to the fact that the atmosphere still has lead in it, so any deaths that might go anywhere near there, they're toast. But since he found a cure, and he's cured, he's normal now. So, that's basically the episode. Like I said, it was pretty cool. I wonder what's going to happen now. Obviously, the crossover is next week, so I cannot wait for that. That's going to be a whole different situation, and I'm pumped for that. Have you seen that trailer? Woo! Pumped. I can't wait. I think that's going to be the greatest crossover I've ever seen in my life. But let's see what happens. Anyway, so, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. And what do you think Mon-El's intentions are? You think he's going to end up helping Kara? You think he's going to ask Kara for help to go to the future? Because remember, if you remember, I think it was season 2, she found the Legion ring that Clark left in the Fortress of Solitude. So it's a possibility she can go to the future with that thing. So who knows? Maybe he's already part of the Legion. We just gotta wait to see what happens. Maybe the Legion will come to them and they need help. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Leave a comment below. Let me know. And thank you very much. And have a good day.